and a warm welcome. Here we are live from Hampton Downs on a beautiful day here in New Zealand. We've got racing, and more racing coming up on race day.
Hello and welcome to Formula First TV, proudly brought to you by CMS Ltd for round 3 of the Haiku Components New Zealand Formula First Championship at Hampton Downs Motorsport Park. And as always, we've got our local Formula First expert, Jonathan Morton. Jonathan, we've finally come back after Christmas. It's been a bloody long time, and we're at Hampton Downs.
Yeah, it's good to be back into the championship after a bit of a break, and everyone's looking good after the new year and a few kilos heavier, but some more than others. But we're looking forward to fantastic racing this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. But back to the racing. After yesterday, it looks like we're going to have a pretty close weekend.
Yeah, yesterday was very tight, and there's a few new guys sort of pushing forward to the front, a few developments and a few car changes, in fact. Yes,
many car changes. Kyan Davies buying the X1NZ car of Callum Crawley, and Andrew Turney's now bought his own car. He's not here with us at the moment, but he will join us at the Grand Prix. And obviously there's one big change for the weekend.
Yeah, Chris Simon was running in his new car yesterday down at Manfield, and unfortunately had a problem, so he's actually turned up here, as you can see behind us, with the Brodie McConkey machine. So he's going to try and win a championship in 2 cars this year, it appears.
Yeah, so something a little bit different. It's well done on the McConkey family for lending their car.
That's the spirit of Formula First. Everyone's willing to help everybody else out.
And it sort of proved very helpful for Chris, because he managed to put it on P2 in qualifying, but not quite fast enough to beat Reece Hendl-Cox.
Yeah, Reece got out of the gate early and he was faster, and he had quite a gap over the field, and they slowly chipped away at him, but Chris fell just agonisingly short of him.
Yes, and with not many gaps between the cars in qualifying, we could be in for a really close race. And to talk about qualifying, here's Reece Hendl-Cox.
Yeah, so qualifying was pretty close with Chris and Amy, but managed to get a lap in early, and it sort of paid off. Yeah, Dad and Rich worked on the car over Christmas and put several hours into it, and it's all worked out.
Race 7 of the championship here at Hampton Downs Motorsport Park was set up to be an absolute thriller, but turned out to be a complete fizzer, Jonathan.
Yeah, after a very even start from everybody, the group established themselves, and there was the group of 3 that broke away at the front of Reece Hendl-Cox, championship leader Chris Simon and Amy Smith.
Yeah, so what looked like was going to be a great race was then sort of cut short by the safety car in the middle of the race.
Yeah, on about lap 4, coming out of the first hairpin, Kyan Davey in the championship-winning Callum Crawley car unfortunately lost drive, and in the kerfuffle of that, collected Dave Scammell, who spun off and broke some suspension, which required the trailer to be used. So, unfortunately, that was sort of the end of the race.
Yeah, so even though the marshals did scramble to the car and did a really great job, as they always do here at Hampton Downs, unfortunately we did finish under yellow, but that means that Reece Hendl-Cox took the victory and the championship lead by 5 points over Chris Simon, which is really starting to be topsy-turvy between those two, isn't it?
Yeah, Reece is in good form at the moment, and that's 2 wins in a row for him now, both under safety car. So he's been the man that's been in the right place at the right time.
Yes, and now to speak of her first podium this season, we'll hear from Amy Smith.
Oh yeah, it was a real amazing race. We've finally got the car real sorted out, the engine's real quick, and we've got the handling down to a T with how it should be. We've changed quite a bit with the handling and made it so much better. We've also had some work done by Alan Harris from and it was really good. Yeah, it was a real good race. It was a shame about the safety car, I guess, though, because it would have been good to have the rest of the race being able to race. But yeah.
And so race 8 of the championship here on New Zealand Motor Cup Sunday, we saw another titanic battle at the front between our 2 championship protagonists, Chris Simon and Reece Hendl-Cox.
Yeah, obviously Chris was trying to get back the championship lead after losing it yesterday's race, and he decided he was going to play the long game, and he sat behind Reece and followed him for the entire race and was looking to make his move with a couple laps to go.
So really the start of the race, everyone was in a big train, but it sort of got broken up a little bit when Ronan Murphy missed a gear, and we ended up with 2 definite packs, and then it split again.
Yeah, the front probably 7 or 8 got away, and then obviously the group behind sort of got themselves together, and then on lap 2, yeah, as you say, once again the 2 at the front of Simon and Hendl-Cox split away, broke away, and were just in their own race for the first.
And they really did skip away, and they've got super pace this weekend. You're looking at the lap times of sort of high 19s, which is only sort of a few tenths off our lap record of a 19.5 around here, and so they went across the line, ended up side by side.
Yeah, well, it was another close finish, and unfortunately for Chris Simon, he just mistimed his run ever so slightly, and he didn't quite have enough to get there by the line.
And of course the big battle for third place between Billy Fraser, Liam Foster, Amy Smith and Thomas Boniface.
Yeah, that's where the real intensity of the race was in this one. And Billy Fraser, he probably sat back in the pack for a while, and he really made his move in the last couple of laps and managed to snare the last spot on the podium.
Yeah, so it was a great race all around for all the competitors. And now to hear from our race winner, here's Reece Hendl-Cox.
Yeah, it was pretty tight up the front. Chris and I went wheel to wheel a couple of times and managed to come away with it, and a bit of luck with the safety car again.
And so race 9 of the championship here at Hampton Downs Motorsport Park, being the precursor to the New Zealand Motor Cup race for the Toyota Racing Series. It saw a really, really tough battle for the podium again, but it was Reece Hendl-Cox and Chris Simon, our two championship protagonists, that ran away with it, really.
Yeah, Reece got a fantastic start from P2 this time, with Chris starting on pole position, courtesy of his lap time in the previous race. And Reece took off and left Chris behind, and Chris in turn left the rest of the field behind. And they just cleared out by several seconds. Yeah,
so it was really good showing from Reece and Chris in the rental car. But it was, I'll tell you what, she was all on for third.
Yeah, there was quite sort of a stable battle for most of the race. And then on the last lap, coming over the hill into the second of the hairpins, the Porsche Dipper, they all decided to go too wide and back each other up, and they ended up firing down the infield straight to the last turn. And young Amy Smith, she thought she'd give it to the boys, and she shoved it down the inside and tried to hold on.
Yeah, so we end up with Smith, Foster, Boniface and Billy Fraser from a bit of a tardy start made his way back through the pack in this battle for third, and it really was just a drag to the flag.
Yeah, obviously Amy, courtesy of her move into the sweeper, led coming up the straight, but bad exit. Everyone was sort of wide, and it was finally the big grandstand finish that we've been hoping for all weekend as they spread out across the line, and Thomas Boniface drove around the outside of the whole lot of them to get third.
Yeah, fantastic for the rookies. So Reece Hendl-Cox, who took the victory, now has a championship lead of 21 points over Chris Simon, who came into the weekend leading, and our young rookie Thomas Boniface picking up that third. And it was a really good race from the Formula First here.
Yeah, as it always has been, of course. You know, this is the traditional learning ground of New Zealand motorsport, where they can build their skills, drafting, overtaking, and just good quality, clean racing.
And so now we're going to hear from Reece Hendl-Cox for about his race win and 3 from 3 for the weekend.
Well, just showed at Bookie. It can change so quickly, so take it race by race.
And so after another great weekend of racing, we've obviously got to give out our CMS Hard Charger Award, Jonathan.
Yeah, we had a look around for a few guys this round, but there's probably one guy that stood out if we look back from where they were, and that's Flynn Mullany. He's come from several seconds back to right into the pack now, and he was just knocking on the door of the top 10. So it's a fantastic achievement for him to develop his racecraft to get up into the pack.
There's a great effort there from Flynn and Sabre Motorsport, and obviously our old guys, Bob Dillo and Ron Carter and Dave Scammell, they're fighting out for their little championship, and Bob Dillo's really trying to push Ron Carter for this, isn't he?
Yeah, Bob's probably, unfortunately, missing the first round. It's probably going to cost him overall, but he's certainly nipping away at Ron's lead. But as I say, Ron's still got a pretty solid lead in that championship.
And our Rookie of the Year, it's changed hands.
Yeah, after a very strong showing from Thomas Boniface, he's been right up in that front pack, and he's managed to overcome those troubles that he had at the first round of the championship and actually overtake the Speed Sport Scholarship winner, Ronan Murphy. But there's only a few points in that, so it's going to be an intriguing battle going forward for the rest of the season.
Then, of course, our championship, Chris Simon and Reece Hendl-Cox, 21 points in it. Reece is hopefully going to take this momentum into the Grand Prix meeting, and a bit of a gap back to everyone else, but they'll still be chasing hard.
Yeah, those two are clearly the two at the front at the moment, and obviously Chris will be looking to get back into his car for the Grand Prix, so that'll be where he'll be able to try and chip away back at Reece's deficit, the deficit he's now got.
Thank you, Jonathan, again for your expert comments this weekend, and don't forget it's 2 weeks' time for the New Zealand Grand Prix. We'll be there at Manfield Circuit de Amon, so tune into our Facebook page and the live stream where you'll catch all our fantastic action. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make friends.